Welcome back for another portion of ZWIFT racing, and this one is going to be good, so watch until the end. I am Cycling Bull, and this is stage 5 of the Slovenian ZWIFT League. We are already half through the series, and to be honest, it's crazy how fast the time passes. Today's stage is on this year's World Championship road. The road in real life started from Yorkshire and finished on the 2019 UCI World Harrogate circuit with 7 laps, if I'm not wrong. However, the conditions in real life this year were dreadful, with Matt Pedersen winning the final sprint against Matteo Trentin and Stefan Kung. In the Slovenian ZWIFT League, the weather was amazing, and since last week I failed miserably on the mountain stage. I had to regain my confidence. The start of the race is not an issue for me anymore, since I found how to put the power down in order to be with the group without any unnecessary sprinting or whatever. And today's stage is 41.4 kilometers long with total of 780 meters of ascent. There were 2 climbs. First one is 1.4 kilometers at 4%, and the second one is 1.2 kilometers with 6% of incline. On the second one was the place where most drama would have happened, and I was ready to fight, and I have decided that today I will be the one that will do more work, because I didn't want to leave anything to the chance. In the morning when I woke up, I was feeling quite exhausted, and also, I wasn't hungry, so I just had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and a banana. But when I got on the bike, I could feel the strength in my legs. That was also the reason why I have decided to work more today. Here we are getting at the second climb, where is it pure 6 to 8 watts per kilogram effort for 2 minutes. If your legs let you down here, your race is basically over. So it was crucial that I stayed with the guys in front. I knew there were strong guys in the race today because I checked their ZWIFT power profiles beforehand. But instead of staying with the guys, I've decided to go full gas on this first climb, with me thinking that someone will for sure start to chase me. Also, I did that because I was expecting people to crack on the first lap already, and since I was feeling good, I thought it would be a good idea to give it a try. I could see that the guy in front of me was starting to struggle. Halfway I managed to get to him and pass him as well, but I didn't stop. I kept pushing even though no one decided to chase me down. In the meantime, I was already building a gap between me and the group behind. I was feeling surprised how good my legs were, they were like engine pistons. I wasn't feeling tired, and that burning sensation that usually comes from the lactate building up in the muscles wasn't there either. I was just a little worried if that effort will pay off and if I will come completely exhausted at the top and then my performance would crash. But the gap continued to grow. I don't know what was the strategy of the guys that were behind, and I also could not see on the map if people were dropping off. I'm not going to lie, there was a moment of panic in my mind at that point, but I had to think for the race that was ahead, so I quickly started to build a new plan. And this is basically how I got to the KOM arch first. By that point, I had already 6 seconds to the guys behind. Even though the gap had risen to 12 seconds at some point, I knew that there is no point of me going long and alone on the front, so with 30 kilometers to go, the chasing group brought me back. I could see that the group was smaller, but I had no idea how many people dropped. Still, the attack was successful in a way, and from now on I knew that only the strongest riders are here and I need to focus for the rest of the race to distribute my power as evenly as possible. At the beginning of lap 2 I was sticking to my plan. Phase 1 has passed successfully, and from here on I needed to make sure that the group keeps the tempo and we don't let anyone catch us. That is why me and a couple of the other guys were constantly in the front of the group. At the time, I was already thinking how should I approach the second steep climb. I was still feeling fresh, and since I was also able to stay in the front for quite a long time without any problems, I thought it would be a good idea to try again to break the group for a second time. However, at the beginning of the second climb of the second lap, I decided to measure my power. Not putting too much effort, but at the same time I was not leaving the guys to get away. This time, the attack came from the guy with the green jersey, and it was quite successful. A big group of riders got dropped. After the attack, we were taking turns who to be in front. At the top, I had this competitive spirit and I didn't want to give the KOM to someone else. That is also why I pushed a little extra at the second climb so that I keep my KOM jersey, which for me would have been personally a great achievement, since this is the part of cycling and cycling races that I'm lacking the most. Jumping now on the last second climb, I was expecting that either the tempo will stay low, because it was obvious that we were all strong and we can save some energy for the uphill finish that was to come. And in the first part of the climb, it looked like it. But once we got to the midway point, the guy with the green jersey decided to attack again. It was a smart move, and I decided to give everything that I have to stay with him. If we managed to break at that point, it would have been completely possible to keep the margin until the finish line. Once he attacked though, his power went down, and at that point I had thought that I should counterattack. I pushed my will to its limits and continued to climb with more than 7 watts per kilogram. I was desperately hoping that people will crack, but that unfortunately didn't happen. So just before the arch, I let down the power because no one have dropped behind and the guys proved to be really strong. And with 2 kilometers to go, the attack started. In my opinion, that was motivated by the fact that the finish straight was slight uphill with, of course, this first part of it after the right turn that gets up to 10% incline. Once that attack happened, I got caught napping. I could clearly see the guys in front of me just disappearing, and I had to dig really deep to make sure that I will catch them. Eventually, I managed to do that, and the whole group came together again. And 900 meters to go, this was the time for attack number 2, and this one was successful. The guy from Denmark kicked really hard with 10 watts per kilogram. To me, that seemed as a desperate move since there was such a long way to go still, but I couldn't let the chance to take over the situation, so I stuck with him. Because of that attack, we dropped 2 of the guys. And once that attack was over, the French rider decided to do a second attempt. He cleared himself with 400 meters still to go. At that point, I was already suffering, and I was just thinking of how should I approach the final 300 meters after the turn. I knew that there would be straight attacks already there, but I was not prepared to go full gas. My legs were tired and I was thinking of getting 4th or 5th wheel and then give everything that I have for the final 200 meters. And the first part worked well until the point the guys in front kicked with 10 watts per kilogram. And when I tried to do the same, nothing happened. My legs were just not there. And I had to settle for 5th, but the guy behind managed to find last bits of strength and came back at me. It was a drag race up until the line, but he proved stronger and I had to settle for 6th place. Nevertheless, still my best result since I started the league. In the official results afterwards, I got 5th place, which is giving 12 points for the GC. Absolutely perfect race from my side. I followed the plan I had from before the race, and maybe I need to work on my top power so that I can make this final step and get on the podium soon. And here you can see me flexing with my KOM jersey, which I managed to retain, and this was also a big achievement for me. And that's that. Thank you so much for watching once more. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This will give me additional boost to perform even better. Next week's stage is a flat at Watopia, and there I expect a good result, but let's see. Bye for now and see you soon.